Hi, this is Kathy Weymouth from Tune the Temple, and I'm in a short series about chronic illnesses and how your brain wiring can impact you to stay in a chronic illness, and how if you change your brain wiring, you have the opportunity of actually diminishing your symptoms according to the data, according to what I am learning. Okay, so I haven't experienced this yet myself, but I'm in the process of learning, and I hope that I will be experiencing this, and I hope you will as well. So my head is kind of spinning because I took this 10-day challenge on Facebook, and it was called Fatigue and Sensitivity Challenge. And that ended like 4 days ago, 5 days ago. And then I started a coaching program, which is going to last for 7 weeks. And it's also about brain wiring. And so my head is like just spinning with all the stuff that I'm learning. So hopefully I can just say something that's going to be making any sense today. So basically, if you haven't seen video one, it was posted on April 5th, 2024 on YouTube. Check that out first, pause this video. And then if you haven't seen video two, that was posted on April 12th. So the first one was on April 5th. Oh, so I don't know if I said that right, April 5th. And then the second one was April 12th. And so you can pause the video and watch parts one and two because it sort of builds. Okay, so basically in a quick review, your brain can actually get stuck in a stress response that causes you to stay in a heightened fight and flight mode. And so you see any kind of trigger coming along sort of like as a threat. And then your brain just goes on automatic pilot and you become anxious, you become stressful, you've experienced negative emotions. And these responses cause hormones to be produced in your body. Like I mentioned in video two, when we saw the bear in the woods, I mean, that was like, right? Like flight mode. That was not fight. That was not going to fight the bear. It was flight mode, just triggered in. I just wanted to get out of there as quick as we could. I turned around and hightailed it back away from the bear on the opposite direction. So anyway, if these negative hormones that kick in to help you in these real crises are released, and then if you are in a chronic state of stress response, those hormones are being released way too much, way too often, and those eventually can lead to chronic illnesses. So the answer is to go backwards, is to get out of the stress response. Okay, so what are some of the things that you can actually do? This is what I said part three would be about. What can you do to help this whole thing? Well, it does seem from what I'm learning that this requires quite a bit of work, reframing what you're thinking on, reframing your responses. And in my new class I'm learning that these neural pathways in your brain can actually build and become stronger and stronger pathways, and biologically thicker neurons and thicker sheath around the neurons, and it actually becomes more and more solid and thick and fortified. So if you are experiencing a typical negative response, and then every time that trigger comes along, you experience the same negative response and you dwell on the negative, and you just you can get stuck in an automatic mode of going right to negative emotions and negative actions, negative behaviors, negative moods. And you've actually built like a highway in your brain of this path that automatically goes from the trigger all the way down to negative emotions and the resulting things from that. So to break out of that, which is what you want to do, to be happier in life, to be able to get out of these chronic illnesses, to break out of this negative thinking and these pathways that have been fortified in your brain, you need to stop the negative thought, the negative feeling immediately. And it helps apparently to do some kind of distraction, some kind of thing to focus on for a few seconds, even up to a couple of minutes, to focus on something different. So let's just walk through a scenario. So let's say you're in the woods, you're walking, you're in a beautiful nature, and you are totally distracted with what so-and-so just said to you, and all you can do is thinking about this negative experience and how awful you feel, and you're stuck. And this is an automatic response. Okay, and then that's producing these hormones, and you are just in the beautiful woods, but you're not really mindful and present. So you can stop the negative thought. You can just say, move it, stop, zip it, whatever you want to come up with a phrase, and then you focus on something positive right then in your experience, right where you're at. You could focus on the beautiful flowers along the path. Like, get yourself distracted off of the negative for a minute or two. Apparently, this really helps, okay, in the moment. And then think about something positive, even in light of how can this negative experience that's always caused me to think negative and feel negative, how can I see this as a gift and an opportunity? How can I actually become more positive in this experience? How could I grow from it? What's something good that can come from it? How can this be a gift to me? So you're taking that negative thought and the negative feeling and you're zipping it, you're cutting it off, you're distracting yourself by focusing on something else for a little while, and then you're asking, how can this become positive? Ha ha. I'm learning. I have yet to do very much of this. So I'm telling you something that I haven't really practiced, which isn't usually my style, but I'm so excited to be learning this. So I just want to give you some strategies. You can do what I just said. That was number one example. Number two, you could stop and do some deep breathing exercises, like inhaling slowly through your nose and even saying in your mind, I'm inhaling peace, I'm inhaling tranquility into myself, and then just really deep breathing, and then slowly breathing back out and saying, I'm exhaling stress, I'm exhaling negativity right now. And that's another thing, deep breathing. You can do visualization where you actually close your eyes and visualize something positive. Visualize going to the beach and feeling the waves and feeling the sand under your toes, and make this an actual experience that you are bringing a positive experience into your life at this moment. You can do some of these things early in the morning. You can do some of these things right when the negative thing hits you. So all of these things. So apparently it takes a lot of practice to get your mind out of the negative. And eventually, as you practice and practice and practice, your mind is going to build a fortified highway to the positive. And that will eventually become your default if you do practicing. So I'm hoping that I can use what I'm learning in this coaching class, that maybe I can actually work with clients in the future to help you go through this process yourself. I first have to go through it myself. So I'm embarking on 7 weeks of learning these practices and these skills. And there's so much. It's like my mind. So the first thing I learned about chronic illnesses is the limbic system rewire.com program. And the second thing that I've just tapped into is called positive intelligence. And it's a coaching program for coaches. Okay, so you can look those up online, positiveintelligence.com or limbicsystemrewire.com. Okay, all right. I know this is quick. I'm heading out on vacation and I wanted to make sure to get this done before I leave. I hope this helps, or at least gives you some hope that maybe something can be done about your negative thoughts, your illnesses, and that you could become a more positive person. Oh, and in the positive intelligence, what percentage of your time are you spending in negative thinking versus positive thinking? I haven't done the test or quiz yet, so I don't know mine, but I know I'm probably pretty low down there because I think I dwell on problems, problem solving. I can go into anxiety. I can go into worry. People that are most successful and the happiest have a rating of 75% of their time in positive thoughts or higher. I know I'm nowhere near there, but that's the goal, is to increase your positive and diminish the negative. Okay. This is Kathy Weymouth at tunethetemple.com. Have a great day. Maybe this will give you some hope for your future. Okay.